For me, you are pretty much like a queen of long distance relationships because you have been away from your family. Sure, keeps on traveling. Your best friend Farah, Zoompari Niti, they all are not here. उनका base जो है वो दूसरी जगह पर है. How do you kind of manage this long distance relationship?
I think it is what it is, really. I think we all are very busy in our own lives, and we do have to, focus on ourselves. But I'm a big believer in that. But I think that I've been able to manage that because that's the only kind of relationships I've known. I've traveled since I was at the age of 10. And now I'm 34, so I've traveled for 24 years of my life, and I've always had friends. Even with my parents, I was always apart from one of them because we were traveling for tennis and stuff. So it's just the way it is. You just get your head around it, and you try and maintain maintain as much as possible. I mean, it's become a lot easier with having a phone and all kinds of communication that is there today. So it's really not that bad. But I think that the toughest one is obviously to manage with your husband because you both are traveling so much, especially now after having a baby. But it's going well. I mean, it's been 11 years, so it's going all right.
True that. I know it's been 11 years already. अच्छा, मुझे एक चीज़ आपसे जो पूछनी थी, since you said that you've been traveling from the age of 10, you started tennis
when I was 6. Yeah.
And then you actually defeated somebody who was like 15 years.
Yeah, when I was 8, I did.
Yeah. तो कभी, of course, अभी उस time पे it's too soon to say कि यार this is my calling. But I know I'm curious to your parents.
Yeah, I think that at that kind of age, it's your parents who are kind of encouraging you to do different things in life, and I think it's very important for those for kids to have parents who are encouraging towards different things and who are believing in their kids. And I was lucky enough to have parents like that who kind of just nudged me towards my calling, so to say. And I think that eventually when I was 12, 13 is really when I knew that okay, this is what I want to do.
Your father comes from like a sports background. He's a sports journalist, right?
Yeah, my dad used to be a sports journalist. He used to play cricket. We've had a lot of cricket in our family, but no tennis player. So I was the first one. We've had we've had an Indian cricket captain. We've had Ranji players. Obviously, I got married to a cricketer, and my sister got married to a cricketer, and into a cricketing family. So we have a lot of cricket in our blood. But tennis is something that didn't come very naturally. But I'm glad that I was the first one in our family to do it.
And you used to kind of pass by the tennis court जब आप swimming करने जा रही होती थी, and that's how it.
Yeah, I used to swim, play tennis, and skate. ये तीनों चीज़ें मैं करती थी. So I happen to be slightly better at tennis, I guess, than the other things. And yeah, rest is history, like they say.
आपकी अपनी क्या assessment है? How far has tennis reached? Because I think India और पाकिस्तान की अगर दोनों की बात करें तो I think it's Sania Mirza और Isamul Haq who have really brought tennis on a global map, especially अगर हम South Asia की बात करें. But do you think that सानिया मिर्जा के बाद और इसाम के बाद साउथ एशिया में टेनिस जो है has it really improved?
I think it's difficult to talk about it as a whole of South Asia. I think there are certain things that are very different in India regarding sport, and we have a lot more tennis players in India who have come out. Unfortunately, in Pakistan, after Assam, there's not been someone who has come to that level or even close. But in India, it does happen, especially the guys are in a better position. We've got a couple of top 100 players. We've had Rohan Bopanna, who's been 3 in the world, who used to play with Assam, actually. We've obviously had Leander Pace and Mahesh Bhupati. So we've had a few. I mean, I think the girls are probably not... so to say in as good as a space as the men are from India. Lekin it's getting better. I mean it's definitely much better than 25 years ago when I was playing, so it's only getting better.
So while I was reading about you, I got to know कि आपने ये वाली term बहुत मर्तबा यूज़ की है कि हमारी hand eye coordination बहुत अच्छी होती है. What does that mean while you are on the court?
Well, hand eye coordination is the basic thing you need to play any sport, and some people have a lot of it, some people have less of it, some people, so it just really depends. It's about how you're coordinating your eye with your limbs, really, and when you see a ball, how you react and how fast you react to it. So
okay, so it's got nothing to do with your partner. I thought कि वो जो उसको इशारा करते हैं, because I was actually watching your match. उसमें आप हर थोड़ी देर में you would say something to either Federer के साथ भी मैंने आपको जो I think जो दिल्ली में हुआ था IPL. What do you guys talk about? वो इतनी छोटी सी देर में what are those?
We talk about where we're going to serve and where we're going to hit the ball, so that the other person is in tune.
हाल चाल नहीं पूछ रहे होते हैं.
कितने बार पूछेंगे 2 घंटे में?
True that. Okay. So speaking of tennis, Sania, is there any one memory of probably आप तो खैर इतने अनगिनत matches खेले हैं, what would you rate as your most difficult and most interesting match?
Oh, wow. I mean, it's very difficult to say what was the most difficult. I think every match that you play, you have to give your 100% no matter who
True,
you're
true,
playing. So you
yeah.
can't really judge it like that. Uh, but I think that probably one of the best memories is when I became number one in the world. I think
Mm.
that's probably a memory, and that's something that every person wants in their life is to be the
Mm.
best at what they do in the entire
True
world.
that, yeah.
So yeah, so I think that that will probably be the best memory. But toughest match, I think it's unfair to say. I think all matches are probably as tough as the other. Yeah.
And why do they say that tennis is actually a rich man's game? What's the
Because I think
context?
when you play cricket, there's about 22 people who can play with two bats in a ball, or even one bat in a
Yeah.
ball. And when you're playing tennis or when you're playing football, you
Mm.
have one ball and you have many people who can play. But when you play tennis, you need rackets and you need a
Yeah.
tennis court. It's not as simple as just going out in the garden or in a park and just
Yeah. You
starting to
need a
play
court.
tennis.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
need stuff. So it's actually not really. I beg to differ a little bit there because it's not really a rich man's sport. It's a rich man's sport if you want to become professional. But to play, I don't think it's really a rich man's sport. If you want to go and take
Yeah.
lessons or
Mm.
basic, going and playing
Yeah.
at courts and stuff, it's
Mm. Mm.
very
Mm.
reachable. But it's not probably as
Yeah, true that.
mass
ये
oriented as a
क्रिकेट तो रोड
cricket
पे
or
भी
a football.
गलियों में
Exactly,
गलियों
exactly,
में खेलने का रिवाज है. क्रिकेट इज लाइक अ रिलीजन. जो किसी गली में ना हो तो आपको पता नहीं लोग रहते भी हैं कि नहीं रहते
exactly.
हैं यहाँ पे.
Yeah,
बट विद टेनिस हम बात कर रहे थे कि टेनिस जो है क्रिकेट जैसे कहीं भी खेले जा सकती है.
yeah.
टेनिस जो है यू स्टार्टेड विद on a court that was actually made out of cow's dung, right?
Yeah, not just started. I played for like 5 years of my life on that. That's
On
how.
that court.
Well, वही होता था तब और तो कुछ होता नहीं था. We
हाँ.
used to play in Hyderabad where people didn't really understand what a clay court or hard court क्या होता था. That was what was available, so that's where we started playing really.
अच्छा. And for the uninitiated including me, कितने किस्म के कोर्ट होते हैं सानिया?
There's a few. There is grass court, obviously. There's
Yeah.
clay court. There's hard court. Then there's astroturf. And then there's different kinds of hard court. One is a rebound, and then rebound ace, and then there's one that is completely hard. So there's different. There are a few. Maybe I don't know exactly how many, but होंगे 8-10 किस्म के तो होंगे.
Okay. And where do you practice here in Dubai? I mean, how do you keep up with your
I can't tell you that on an interview where I practice, but I do practice with
एक किलोमीटर की दूरी पे है यहाँ से?
नहीं है 1 किलोमीटर की दूरी पे about 5 kilometers
Oh,
की
really?
दूरी पे.
चलिए ठीक है. फिर टाइम बता दें हम फॉलो कर लेंगे अब. Okay, nice. So okay, but then the best thing about Dubai is के coming back to Dubai and your life in Dubai, I think one of the एक नुकसान तो है कि घर वालों से दूर है. But the kind of facilities and the kind of amenities that are available to a sports person or to any person basically, हर किसी के लिए यहाँ पे जगह है. So was that the reason that you actually chose Dubai, understanding कि एक neutral जगह चाहिए थी आपको और शोएब
No,
के लिए भी?
actually, Dubai is somewhere where we've lived since we've gotten married. Just before we got married, we got a place. We weren't living here, but we were living in Dubai. And obviously, we used to not live as much क्योंकि मैं भी बहुत सारा travel कर रही थी, and he was traveling a lot as well. But it's a good. We like it because it's really peaceful. हम लोग supermarket जा सकते हैं. We can do certain normal things as well यहाँ पे. And more than that, I like the lifestyle here. I have always loved Dubai. I used to come here as a kid, and I have always thought that it would be a really good place to raise your kids as well.